Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the show for wedding professionals and business owners.
Each month, we bring you top industry experts, business chat, and hints and tips to grow your business.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Roxy.
Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 26 of the Wed Pro Podcast. Great to have you here.
26. Gotta say, I'm enjoying this season. Although we kind of moved away from seasons, didn't we? We're now just kind of letting the episodes roll.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I'm living the vibe that we're bringing right now.
Yeah, that's it. Like, this is what we kind of started our group on, our community on. Kind of providing all of this education, kind of tips and things that we've learned in business. And kind of this last sort of few months, we've kind of really pushed a focus to the pod. And I think quite a lot of people are surprised by that, aren't they? Yeah, but I think for anybody that's kind of coming into the Wedding Business Hub and they don't know, me as Katie and you as Roxy, it kind of gives people like a really good idea, like, yes, they know their stuff, this is what they're about, yes, we like them, and then they come and kind of filter into our other things.
We hope you like us.
Yeah.
We make wedding business stuff cool. Well, I hope we do anyway. I hope that, you enjoy listening to us and you get a lot out of the things that we teach you.
Yeah, can you imagine? I'm
well,
sure
you're still listening and you're still here, so
yeah, we're sure. We get nice feedback. It's lovely.
We do.
It's lovely, and thank you so much. Right, today we're taking stock. It's halfway point through the year, so
halfway. Yay!
Can you believe it? Actually, it seems to have gone kind of quite quick.
Do you think that's because if you think about this time last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I struggle. I don't know whether it's kind of like a trauma response or something like that, but I struggle to kind of even really remember, like, when was lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3, when was all of that? What were we actually doing, and were we open, or what was happening this time?
It's all just a blur. Yeah, it's definitely like a trauma response, like you say. My brain's very good at like switching off I won't think about that anymore ever again.
Definitely, for sure, like, wow, the world's open and we're busy. You might have kind of set some business goals at the beginning of the year. You might have, well, we hope that you did, and we hope that you kind of took stock and thought, right, what do I want to achieve in 2022? And we don't really know how those might have kind of looked. We were just coming off the back of kind of a new variant at the end of last year, weren't we, as well? So maybe kind of you set some business goals, not really knowing what kind of 2022 was going to have in store. And we've come from kind of like how would I describe it? Like, we've had a funny old few years, haven't we? So this year has been quite difficult for people to be able to set kind of targets and goals and expectations. We did a goal setting podcast, didn't we? And we talked about manifesting and goal setting earlier in our podcast. And today what we want to really focus on is kind of take step of where we've been over the last kind of 6 months, and look at the ways that you can maximize your income going forward for the next 6 months of the year, so you can kind of finish off on a positive and on a high.
And it is really important, and this is something that we do in our biz. We set goals, don't we? And when we kind of take stock of them, and because it's okay setting goals, but then you need to go back, to make sure, well, not to make sure you're hitting them, but looking at, did you hit them? If so, what did you do? Because you can rinse and repeat that. If you didn't hit them, why was that? What could you have done to improve it? Or maybe it was out of your hands, i.e. COVID and things like that. But really important that you goal set. Like, without goal setting, it's really hard to move your business forward.
That's it. Or kind of to know that you're going to be okay, to plan, not even for your business, but also for your personal life. Each and every month you'll need to take a certain amount of money and be making a certain amount of money in your business to be able to sustain your life. So being able to know and keep track, like whether you set, revenue goals or kind of goals for social media, so goals for kind of number of weddings that you want to work, or however it kind of looks to you in your business, it is ensuring that you are kind of on the right track. So that you can kind of achieve what you want to achieve, whether that's just kind of like whether you're kind of in that growth phase and thinking about growing your business or moving your business onto the next level, or whether it is, you know, you're at a place in your business where you're happy with where it is, and that's more sustainability, and what does that look like for you? So yeah, today we're going to talk money. We're getting more comfortable talking about money, aren't we?
We are, yeah, and it feels nice, doesn't it? I don't know why my voice had a big squeak then, like it wasn't okay. It does. It feels a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more natural talking about money, whereas before it did actually used to give me that anxiety feeling. But now I think the more we've spoken about it, the more comfortable I've become.
Yeah, and I would definitely, just kind of from our kind of experience where that came from, we did a podcast with Anna all about kind of unpicking kind of money thoughts that you might kind of have had, and we found it super interesting. And then on the back of that, we've both kind of, you kind of got a book, and I've been listening to some podcasts, I've been listening, and we both kind of held ourselves accountable, didn't we, in terms of like looking at any kind of thoughts around money that we had. Now, we've written some blogs on this and kind of our journey, so if you're interested in kind of exploring this for yourself, go and check out our blog. You can find that over on the website, where we just unpick like how your feelings towards money could be impacting your business. And you know, we don't talk about it in kind of like a woo way where you kind of put it out into the universe or anything like that, although I do believe that that kind of stuff helps, because
I'm nodding along.
It's the same as goal setting. That's how I look at it. Like, if I write it down and I'm really intentional about it, I'm more likely to achieve it. So it's not a case of me saying, hey, I want to earn X amount of money, and then sitting back and putting my feet up, and you've got to meet things halfway. But by having these conversations about making more money, or looking at how money shows up in our business and in our life, it's definitely helping us, isn't it? And we're getting more comfortable talking about it for you guys as well.
The one thing that I learned, which I didn't actually really even consider, is that your kind of money mindset doesn't just come from you being an adult in the big wide world. It actually goes right back to your childhood, and I found that really, really interesting. And I didn't really know I had a money story until I started reading my book, and I was like, okay, this goes deeper than I thought. And now I have kind of lifted my money blocks, and it seems to be working. Like, yeah, I'm not so woo either, but I'm not putting it out in the universe. I'm not sitting back and putting my feet up and going, come to me money. But it definitely, something's happening.
I think the way that we've kind of set goals is differently, and actually we like doing it this way. So before we would set goals in our business, and we talk about goal setting a lot in business, and on our podcast we would talk about how we would we might have a number goal there, we might have a money goal there, we might have we want to get to this level amount of people opening our emails, etc. And it was quite static and quite number driven, wasn't it? We looked at a different way of setting goals a few weeks ago, didn't we? And we kind of on a piece of paper wrote what we wanted our business to provide for us, and then what that looked like. And actually it was a really nice exercise, instead of kind of our Monday morning meeting where we kind of split those goals and focus on those the number element of it, for us to kind of to think about, okay, what do we want out of our business? What do we want to provide? What does that look like for the future for us?
It was a much more positive way, wasn't it, of doing things? Because I don't know, sometimes like writing the number goals down, again, it's like the money thing. It's like, oh gosh, how am I going to get there? Like the anxiety. Actually, it's like flipped it on its head and made it a really positive experience. And actually, we hit the goals.
Yeah, we did. And I think that's something that you can kind of, if you struggle to kind of talk about money or think about money within your business, it is something that at some stage of your business you're going to want to look at, and in terms of growth as a person, growth in your business, to reach that next level. So it's something that I wish that we'd done a long time ago, and kind of sat and kind of looked at how blocks, and I definitely did have blocks, and I do talk about them on our blog, which we put out a few weeks ago, so if you want to go and listen to that. But yeah, we're talking about making more money, and the reason, obviously, we've spoken about our mindset, because that's kind of taboo, isn't it? But hey, we're in business, we're here to kind of maximize your income, whether you're on track to hit your goals, or whether you want to enter growth phase, or whether you're not quite on track, we're going to get you on track today. We're going to give you the 5 ways to maximize your income for the rest of 2022 today.
Get ready, guys. So number 1, and I really like this one actually, is because this is something that I have kind of focused on probably in the last month, which goes hand in hand with the new way that we kind of do goal setting and all that, is to kind of step into your best self and be showing up as that person.
Yeah, like show up in your business 1000%. And that, like you said, you know, when we talk about showing up in business, we often mean, look, put yourself out there. You want to be showing up where your client is. So we might be talking about showing up on social media, posting on Instagram, posting on stories, keeping a consistent presence wherever you are. But actually, showing up for you in your business, to kind of be present, be kind of giving your best self to your business in the day. We all know that, you know, we're not feeling it 100%, you know, we don't produce our best work. And, you know, some of the time, kind of all of this stuff, the marketing stuff, the admin side of things, isn't maybe all of our kind of best strength. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get into the industry because you've got a talent, or you're creative and you want to share that talent or creativity, or you've got a great service or product and you want to share that with the world. And
I think I've got a little tip that we can all do when we're not feeling like, you know, we're not feeling 100%. We aren't robots. It's not going to happen all the time. But on those days where you think, oh, okay, it's not going to happen today, go back to your business why. Why did you start your business? What's your passion? What are you in this for? Go back and look at reviews, testimonials, previous weddings. And this is something that I actually do. I've got reviews saved on my phone that I go and have a little look at, and it just like reignites that passion fire.
Yeah. And that's what we did in terms of kind of setting our goals. When we said that we did it a different way, we actually looked at our kind of, why are we doing this? What do we want this business to provide for us, in terms of a business, in terms of what do we want it to provide for you, our community, what is the stuff that we want to put out there for you guys, but also why are we doing it in terms of, you know, some of the things that I kind of put on there was like, you know, the plan for my children and what I want to be able to provide for my children in the future, and things like that. And it was nice, isn't it? And we also affirmated. So we finished off the exercise by just affirmating as well, and just kind of writing down like some things like, you know, we deserve to have like an easy business. Business doesn't need to be tough, you know, and things like that. And that is a little bit more woo, but it just finished the exercise a little, put us in a positive frame of mind, isn't it?
That's exactly it. And exactly what you need on a Monday morning. Set you up really well for your week ahead.
Yeah, that's it. So it's kind of like showing up, not only in all of the places, but showing up as your best self. And that is going to help you to maximize your income. That is going to help you to pull in those sales, convert those sales. And we all know, like, when we're having a good day at work and we're in it and we're excited about our business,
I have arrived.
It's like boom, boom, boom. Everything seems a little bit more easier, like the energy flows. But also to show up for yourself. I think it's worth saying to pause. And that's really important. And we've talked about this in the past in terms of a mental health perspective, but even just like as a business growth perspective, or if we're looking at creating more income in our business, actually giving yourself time to pause. Your best ideas and your best ways forward always come, don't they? We've actually learned to do this more recently. Like, so if we're writing things, or I'm doing something in the business and it's not coming to me right then, I'm getting more and more comfortable with putting the laptop down, going and, you know, sitting in the garden for 10 minutes, or even just putting it away to the following day and thinking, it's not coming, and trusting that it's going to come, or the idea is going to come.
And that's it, is that kind of don't doubt that it will come, because it will, because you are an excellent writer of whatever it is you're doing, Kate. But sometimes when you're like, oh, it's not coming, putting it down, and then just pick it back up when you're feeling that creative vibe, because sometimes you just get like moments of inspiration where it's coming, and then sometimes not so much. But
I think that you've just hit a really good point there about, in terms of you saying like that creative vibe, like a lot, like creativity doesn't come from burnout. No. So actually, professionals, you will create your most creative work, your best work, when you actually give yourself that time to pause. And just like as an actual example, if we're ever naming a product, I always honestly just trust, we'll sit and we'll brainstorm, won't we? Or when we like rebranded our business, it's just that trust that it will come. And it normally comes to me
in most random time. So get your notepads ready for when it does.
I'm like, ding, I've got it. It's coming. And I know you're the same, aren't you? And it's about
I am. Yeah, I really, and I didn't realize how important this pausing actually is. So I'm a little bit newer into running my own business. It's been kind of 3 years. You're a little bit longer in the process.
Longer in the tooth.
But I am, I'm glad that I've realized this. I'm going to say quite early on. I don't know how long people normally takes to kind of figure out these things, but pausing, looking after yourself so then you can be your best self at work is so important. If you're not looking after yourself, you're not looking after your business.
I think pausing also gives you time for perspective. And this is actually a quote that I got from The Crown a few years ago, and I was like, oh boom, that's like actually really sums it up. So yeah, time off actually gives you perspective and actually enables you to kind of look at your business with a little bit more of a kind of wide-eyed lens, if you want to see, and kind of spot where things are. So yeah, show up. The second one, and this is something that you're gonna have to get more comfortable with, guys and girls. Like, this is something that will directly maximize your income and directly take you to more sales for your business. And this is talking about your products and offers. And if you struggle talking about your business, and you struggle asking for the sale, you struggle to kind of put yourself out there, and where is the money coming from?
Where is it? Yeah, exactly.
Where is it? It's got to come from you, hasn't it? And being comfortable with your offers, talking about it and getting it out there.
I mean, we do say, don't we, there is a balance here. But definitely, if you aren't talking about your offers and your services and your products, do it. But you can do it in a way that doesn't have to be salesy. There's lots of different ways that you can be putting yourself out there, explaining your offers. But I wanted to ask you, Kate, why do you think it is that this isn't done enough? Like, why do you think?
I think nobody teaches us as business owners sales. Like, it comes as an afterthought. And actually, you need sales in your business. And we'll talk about this a little bit further on our kind of final tip. But you've got to get comfortable with the selling part of your business. I know this is something that we really focus on because we were quite customer facing in the bridal shop. It came to a point where it was literal product money. There was going to be that exchange. So we did training, didn't we? And we actually got an external trainer in. We had training sessions. We invested in ourselves as a team. We invested in our staff. And we invested in our kind of sales skill set. It's not something that you're taught at school. It's not something that you're taught at university. And there is a skill in selling. And I think that that's a big part of it. And the second part of it, it's people find it awkward. But
is that a very British thing?
Potentially. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with kind of other cultures. I'm not that well travelled. But you do hear about it, don't you? You do hear about it being kind of a British thing.
We're also, as British, are very apologetic, and
you need to be reminding your customers that you're only available on certain dates. Like, if you are a service-based business and you're there, photographer, florist, and you can only take on a certain amount of clients, celebrant, etc. You need to be reminding people of the dates that you're available, that what that booking process looks like, and constantly getting that out there, which brings us to our next point, really, like repeatedly showing up and repeatedly asking for the sale. It's not something that you can kind of just do once and think, oh, okay, I've asked for the sale now, like that's done. Or I've marketed my business now, that's done. You need to be consistently advertising your products or services for months and months and months and months for that person to then say, oh yeah, I'm ready to buy now.
And I think with that, one of the reasons for that is a kind of sales post that works for one person won't work for another person. So it's about consistently, and we say consistently a lot, don't we? It's all about being consistent, not just with your social media, but with this as well. Put it out there, what you do, what your services are, what your offers are, so it's out there for your couples to see.
Yeah, and to find, like, so often, you know, we're becoming a more and more impatient society. We, you know, I feel it. If I can't find information quickly, I know that I'll find it somewhere else faster. So I'm off, and you know, I'm busy. And you know, as business owners, I kind of think some of the time we think that we're the only busy people in the world, and that our clients have got loads of time, and that's not necessarily true. Like, more and more people are leaving it longer to get married and getting married more later. Maybe they've got children at home, they've got full-time jobs. Everybody's got things to juggle, especially kind of coming out of what we've been through over the last few years. We've got social lives again to juggle, and you know, the scene is changing. You need to be kind of getting used to consistently putting the work in. Yeah. So a lot of times you will find that results come from consistency, and it's not about trying something and giving up within 2 months. And whether that is that you're working with, we see this with our kind of one-to-one clients, don't we? That, you know, we have kind of an area on our one-to-ones where we all kind of go back and look at what has been done, what we spoke about the session before, what they've put into practice in their business. And we kind of say, look, trust the process. Like, we need to trust the process. And they will often come back to us since they've worked with us kind of maybe 3-4 months ago, and they're like, "Hey, Roxy, it's working. All of the stuff that you've asked us to do, we've put it into the place in our business, and we're getting bookings from our emails now. And you know, it's working on Instagram, or we've been consistently showing up on social media." And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are guilty of kind of moving on to that next thing. They don't really have any stamina when it comes to just being like consistent and working. And that's why having those kind of goals and knowing the direction of your business is so important, so that you can pull out that plan and think, okay, am I sticking to the plan? Am I seeing the results that I think I should be seeing at this point in the process? And I'm not talking 48 hours in, guys. And we're talking about, like, have we given this a good length of time? Are we learning from our insights? So if we're talking about social media or on marketing or anything that we do, and we know it's not the most sexy thing in the world to be tracking things, and quite often you'll just have a good feel, won't you? You'll just have a good feel that
I think it is. I think it's quite a sexy thing, you know, quite like a savvy thing to be in the know with, like, get into them insights, get into the strategy and what's working well and what's not working well, because that's what makes a good business owner, right? Is that you know what's working well, and you can rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and that's it.
And that's the word, repeat.
Yeah, I think that's it. And if you think about, like, let's put big business heads on for a minute. Or if we looked at like a more traditional form of advertising, and you took out like an advert on the TV, like I keep on hearing the song for, is it the Habitat advert at the minute, and they do like a clicky. I
don't know. I don't tend to watch a lot of TV at the minute.
I think we went to the cinema twice last week, and it kept on coming on, and now it's on the TV, so I notice it all the time.
But it's the same with like radio advertisements. I've got like numbers in my head, and I'm like, what? Like a little number jingle.
And it won't just be played once. It'll be played 3, 4, 5 times. You know, think about, you know, how much that Coca-Cola advert gets played over Christmas time, and we all know the brand Coca-Cola, but yet they're still advertising. and promoting and repetitively drumming that message into us, so that when we're at the checkout and we see some Coca-Cola, bam, it's in our trolleys and we've bought it.
Yeah.
And so many businesses are not showing up enough and not repeating and sticking with it, sticking with the process and sharing their offers consistently. And that's where you're going to see those results. We're coming full circle, aren't we? Because the next one we want to talk about was kind of like manifesting at, is it right word, manifesting? But it takes a certain level, like to move your business forward, it takes a certain level of energy from you as a person. And quite often in business, especially in this industry as well, the repetitiveness of it, there we go, I got my words out. The repetitiveness of it can make us lose a little bit of love for what we do, don't we?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem so exciting anymore.
That's it. I mean, like you said, this is a little bit kind of full circle of what I was talking about before, but it is so important that you know, you bring that energy, you bring kind of the, like, you empower yourself, you bring the energy to everything that you do in your business, because that will filter through to booking clients.
100%. I think if you think about when you first started a business and the energy that you have and
how exciting it was to hit publish on that website and get your first client.
Yeah, when you come to kind of scale your business or look at taking more money or maximizing your income, that takes a different level of energy from you, from just the normal rinse and repeat and stuff that you've been doing all in your business. If you're somebody that's looking to kind of step into that next growth phase for your business, whether that's taking more money, whether that's going after better, more higher end weddings, or kind of any change in your business, whether that's more clients, less clients but higher paid work, whatever that is, it's going to take a certain level of strategy and understanding what you do and planning and goal setting and all of that sort of stuff, and strategizing and understand where you're directing in your business. But it is also going to take a mindset shift as well, isn't it? And those two things going hand in hand together.
They do, don't they? It's that growth energy.
It is. And then also we did touch on this, like allowing yourself to kind of have the space for new ideas and have the space and for that growth in your business, for you as a person. And whether that looks like, if you're not being able to hit those numbers that you want to hit, if you're not able to kind of book as many weddings as you want to book, maybe it's the time to kind of look at investing in yourself as a business person. And quite often,
really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is important. But quite often as small business owners, we're almost scared to invest. And I get it. Like, I absolutely get it. Like, it's scary to kind of invest in yourself, invest in your business, especially if it's on kind of coaching or training or anything like that, because you want it to work out and you want it to kind of give you a good return on investment, don't you? But, you know, exactly the same as kind of asking for the sale, or if there was a process in your business that you're not quite getting right, you can either spend loads and loads and loads of time on it and learn and improve and read all the information and go out that way, which will get you to a certain level. And it's definitely got us to a really great level in our business. But we've had a faster growth period when we've invested, haven't we? And we've invested in education, whether that is just as simple as a book that is going to help us get that end goal, or whether it's
learning, I don't know, YouTube videos. Like, YouTube is amazing for learning stuff.
Yeah. And we definitely started, like you said, we started and we soaked up all of the stuff, especially
just soak it up, just be the sponge.
Yeah. But kind of giving yourself permission to not know things, I think, is really important as well. So yeah, this one again is about you kind of stepping into that zone, but knowing that in order to take more money over the next few months, you've got to do something different. Otherwise, you're always going to get the same result. So it's about coming at it and channeling that energy into, okay, what does that look like for my business? Am I going to have to ramp up my marketing? Am I going to have to ramp up am I going to have to go back and look at my brand? What is it? And bring in that kind of energy to be able to do that. Right, this last one, this is number 5, although they all kind of amalgamate together, which is why it's a strategy, because it all syncs together and comes. I'm waving my hands around, you can't see.
It's very handy today.
Jazz
hands.
Is getting comfortable with putting yourself out there, getting comfortable with hopping into the DMs. We call this high touch, don't we?
We do.
And actually,
I love a high touch.
If you have tried this strategy before in your business, let us know how it's working for you. Since we've kind of been doing this since last year, we've noticed a massive shift, haven't we? Yeah. And actually, it's something we're not doing enough of. And for our next offer that's coming up soon, we definitely should be doing that and starting that way.
And I will say there is a bit of I suppose it's a little bit like sales. There is a bit of an art to high touch, but it's really easy to get your head around. When you're dropping in the DMs, you don't want to be going straight in for the sale number 1.
No, that's not right. No, you need to be having kind of meaningful conversations, showing up in the right places. So in the DMs, like that's where the conversations are happening. Like years ago, it would have been on the telephone and getting the telephone out and closing deals on telephone, or this generation are just more comfortable with kind of buying and purchasing through social media or through DMs or WhatsApp or whatever it may be. But you need to be that person, and if you're not that person, you've got to get comfortable with it. So you've got to get comfortable with how to sell and putting yourself out there. And this is quite pertinent in kind of social media posting as well. Like quite often we will talk about value versus sales posts. Now, actually, the value posts are what's gearing you up for the sales post. So if you're posting kind of like valuable content, or you're posting kind of advice and tips, they're not sales posts. They still absolutely are. They're just not directly going in asking for the sale. And quite often, you know, we sell every day in our business. We sell in a way that people
don't wouldn't necessarily relate to a sales post, I suppose.
Yeah, we're not going in straight for the hard sell. Like, hey, here's our bill. You want to work?
Hey, with buy this.
You want to work with us? You want to be a client? That's not how we do it. But we're having meaningful conversations. In those DMs, so show up in the right places, put yourself out there, put your business out there,
be genuine.
Like if you're not going to do it, your competitor will do it.
100 million%.
So yeah, what you want to do is to be applying these strategies and looking at your business and your income goals for the next 6 months. And what we want you to have is the freedom to be able to make more money during the rest of 2022.
We do.
If you've loved today's episode, you know what to do. Hit subscribe. Leave us a review below. We love to hear from you as well. You can email us at thewedpropodcast@gmail.com. You can send us any of the topics that you want us to talk about. You can send us your questions and we will answer them on a future podcast. And it's been really great to talk this.
Yeah. This podcast is for you. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear the topics that you want us to delve into. But yeah, it's been great today. Loved it. Yeah. I'm now going to go away and give myself space and energy and
it's helping that the sun is shining, isn't it? Yeah. So hopefully the sun is still shining when this podcast goes out. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and we will see you on the next one.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.